Good morning. I hope you're having an amazing and blessed Sunday. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Of course, it's already in the high 80s. I'm sure it'll top into the 90s near Houston before too much longer. But I wanted to update because I promised I would give an update on what all these little tomatoes look like and the San Marzano looks like when they're ripe. And these actually look orange in the camera, but they're pretty close to red. This is the patio container tomato I got. And I actually tried one this morning that was redder than when I usually pick them. It almost looked like it was close to being overripe. And it was actually one of the sweetest tomatoes I've ever tasted. And I was surprised and impressed because I've said time and time again, this is probably one of the worst tasting tomatoes that I've ever had raw, but it does really well with other flavors or when cooked. And you can see what I was talking about when I said our mommy mockingbird really likes these tomatoes. She's been out here eating them, which is fine. I mean, one part of gardening the way that we like to garden is that you're going to share with nature, which is fine by us. But I just can't believe it that there are actually flowers and another tiny tomato on this plant. I thought for sure that it was just about to give up and die, but I guess it's gonna go strong. I can't believe it's happening because, like I said before, this is a determinate plant. I do, however, want to get a huge shout out to my tomatillos because no matter how much I neglect them, they just get taller. This one's already within 5 days went from about a little over 3 foot to definitely 4 foot tall. And the flowers are so incredible. They are covered in little yellow flowers. So I'm super excited to see how this turns out. And I'm super excited, to be honest, that it produces tomatillos, even though I have a tendency, always, but especially this year, to just neglect my poor garden. So I think next year I'll probably grow 50 of those because they like being neglected and they do extremely well. Now here's the San Marzano tomatoes. They're even redder than they look in here, but I don't want to leave them on too much longer because the birds definitely want to get a hold of them. Now these are actually a type of grape tomato. They remind me most of the Roma tomato, and they make an incredible sauce tomato. Most of them that I get hardly have any seeds or juice. The redder they get, the sweeter they are, but they make a really great sauce. And I actually like these. So they're amazing. They're really good. I think I've only had one that's really had seeds in it. And here are the other ones that I showed a few days ago. They're growing so big already. These are just really great plants overall. I am going to make another video. This one is not doing well. I should probably pull it up, but I just haven't. And this one actually has a cluster of all different sizes forming on it. So I just really love these plants, and I think that I only grew a few this year, about 5 of them, but I really think that I'm going to grow them next year in abundance too. Now, I made a huge mistake when it came to these and all my tomato plants this year. The original intent for a lot of my tomato plants was to go ahead and get them started, and then as they grew up, add a second layer to the beds and let them develop more root systems, and I didn't. And so I used compost. It got really compacted. They haven't had the chance to make the best root systems, and so it really did stunt their growth. So I highly recommend, do not use pure compost. Mix it with cocoa coir, mix it with vermiculite, mix it with some fluffy topsoil, mix it with whatever you need to make it lighter, and then absolutely make sure that you are giving your tomato plants, if they are an indeterminate variety, make sure that you're giving them at least 15 or more inches for their roots to grow, because if not, you're going to end up with some stunted tomatoes. And I'll make a video on my other bed and show you what I mean by stunted, because it's really sad. But here are the San Marzanos, You can see them compared to the cherry tomatoes and what they're supposed to look like. So I hope that helps you when you're growing these and trying to determine what they are, how big they're supposed to be, and if it's the right tomato for you.